Hey, what's up guys, Caleb C here, and today I just want to share with you my choices for the PGL Krakow Major Pick'ems Challenge. So yeah, the stickers just came out today, just a few hours ago, and the Major will be in 9 days from the day I'm recording this, so it'll be July 16th to the 23rd. And like always, there's a Pick'ems Challenge. This Pick'ems Challenge is in the form of a Swiss system Pick'ems Challenge, just like the E-League Major. If you're not familiar with the Swiss system, the simplest way to put it is if a team gets 3 wins, they will move on to the playoffs, but if a team gets 3 losses, they will get sent home and out of the group stage. So yeah, here are my pick'ems, as you can see right here, and if you just want to copy these pick'ems and exit the video right now, I'm perfectly fine with you doing that. But if you want to stay, I will be explaining why I picked these teams and where they are. So the first pick'ems I picked was SK Gaming for a 3-0, which means they go undefeated out of the group stages. And the reason I'm doing this because SK Gaming is, a strong team. They've been strong for a very long time. They won MLG Columbus 2016 under the organization of Luminosity. They won Cologne 2016 under SK Gaming. In my opinion, the only reason they did not win Atlanta was because they were just kind of in a slump and they didn't have their full capabilities. For example, they actually had a stand-in, Fox, at the time, and since then they've picked up Phelps, who is ex-Immortals. He's from Immortals, and he's looking way stronger than Fox. And SK has just won a bunch of tier 1 events, just plowed through everybody, and yeah, I'm thinking they're a very strong team and probably the safest pick for 3-0. But if you do not agree with me, the other teams I would probably pick is Australis and FaZe. Next is 0-3, which means they will not win a single match and get sent home. I'm picking Vega Squadron, and the reason is because that, I don't know, in my opinion, they're just probably the worst team in the Major. Sorry if you're a Vega Squadron fan. The qualifiers were, I guess you could just say kind of easy, and they just kind of got lucky matches and they made it into the Major. So that's basically it. They're just not that much of a good team. They're not looking strong too much, Pretty sure they'll not win a single match if everything goes right, I guess. And if you don't agree with me, you think Vega might get 1 match, the other teams I would suggest going 0-3 are probably Flipside, Penta, Big, and maybe even VP. The reason I say that, you might disagree with me, is because VP has just been looking horrible recently. Unless they have some weird new strats for the Major, they could lose all 3 and not win a single one. But VP is kind of a dangerous pick. I think the safest was just to go with the Vega Squadron as 0-3. Alright, so the remaining teams that will advance out of the group stages and into the playoffs, I have put them in the order of confidence, I guess you could say. So, I'm very confident that Australis can get out of the group stage, and I'm not so confident that Immortals can get out of the group stage. But let me explain. Australis, they've been looking very strong, similar to SK, winning a lot of tier 1 tournaments and getting into the semis and getting into the finals of them. They won E-League Atlanta with a dominating performance against VP. And they're just a great overall team. They've just been tier 1 for the longest time, and I believe they'll definitely get out of the group stage. Next is FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan could even be stronger than Australis with their new lineup with Nico and everything. With their new lineup, they have actually gotten to the finals of every single tier 1 tournament so far. I don't think they've won one yet, but just getting into the finals is very impressive. So that's basically just saying already that they'll probably get out of the group stage of this Major. Next team is G2. G2, some might argue that they look very shaky recently. They had their moment. They won DreamHack Open Tours 2017 and they won ESL Pro League Finals. But recently they haven't been doing that good. I mean, they got knocked out of ECS Finals pretty fast, and they got knocked out of Cologne with a pretty big upset by NaVi. So I don't know. If they fix up their stuff, it's very easy that they would get out of the group stage. But there's also a sliver of a chance that they somehow choke and don't get out of group stages. Next team is Cloud9. Cloud9 is the NA Dream, obviously, and they were looking very bad, I guess you could say, in the previous majors and previous tournaments, but recently they've been looking very good. They've gotten out of many tournaments. They've beat teams like Australis and Fnatic and stuff in big upsets, and they beat NiP. They're just looking good, and I believe they do have a good chance of getting out of group stage. But just being an NA team and just kind of being a level lower than all of these EU superpowers, and they could mess up and knock out of group stage. So there's also a chance that they might not make it. Same thing with NaVi. For the past month, they've been struggling to get out of stages of Tier 1 tournaments, but recently they've beaten Mouse, they've beaten G2 with a huge upset. Simple and Guardian just looking back in form, they're fragging hard. So I just decided to pick NaVi. I believe that just with a bit more practice, added on top of their performance recently, they can definitely get out of group stage. Next, I picked Gambit. Gambit hasn't been really in any Tier 1 tournaments recently, but since they're just a really good team with like some top players and a great IGL Zeus coming from NaVi, I do think that they have a great chance of getting out of group stage. Finally, the team is last team I picked for getting out of group stage is Immortals. So this team is a very inconsistent team, but when they are consistent, they are amazing. They beat teams like they beat Cloud9 many times. They've beat G2. I think they beat SK2. Like, they're just a great team when they're good, but they can also be very bad. But in the end, I do believe they will get out of group stage. Now, there's actually a few teams that you might be wondering why I didn't pick. There's some strong teams you might be thinking. So yeah, these are the teams that could replace the shaky teams, so-called. And I think these teams will be Mouse, North, Fnatic, and maybe even Virtus.pro. Now, yeah, the reason I didn't pick Mouse is because, well, I just think that all the other teams are better than Mouse, and they've had their moments, and with their new superstar, I guess their young 17-year-old Rops has been doing really good, but I just don't think they'll make it in the end, and they've lost to Cloud9 and stuff. Next team was North. Same thing basically. North, used to be very good. I mean, they still are pretty good in my opinion. They used to be under the organization of Dignitas, but they changed organizations and they've had their moments. But in the end, I think they're in quite a slump recently. So I don't think they'll make it. Next team is Fnatic. And yeah, of course, Fnatic is a pretty big name in CS. They have won many majors, and they are a good team when they're good. But recently, they just haven't been looking good. They've knocked out of many events, and they're just looking very shaky. And I do not think they can get out of group stages with all these other competitors. Last team is VP, which some people will say, will argue with me and say VP will get in over some other team. And, they're saying stuff like VP's really good at, in majors, and they're saying that, VP could practice, which I agree with. They're pretty good at majors, and if they do practice, they could get their stuff together, because a VP at their prime is a very good VP. Just currently it doesn't look so well for them, so I'm not going to go for the hypothetical pick. I'm going to go for the safe pick, and I'm just not going to include VP. So yeah, that's basically my picks for the PGL Krakow Major. If you agreed with me, if you disagreed with me, leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys later.